Okay, you two, I'm back. This is Man Dark Energy coming to you live once again. This is part 2. Okay, and we're going to continue where we left off at, and we were talking about primordial. Okay, primordial means the first, right? It means the first. Okay, now we're gonna go. So this is in book 2 of the great book of Melanin Research. So every 3 to 5 years, the International Federation of Pigment Cell Research come together every 3 to 5 years, and they discuss you. They are discussing you, right?
And convention. It's what everyone is concerned about in the world. It's what they have a meeting about every 3 to 5 years. Germany, Italy, France, U.S., they meet every 3 to 5 years and have a melanin convention and discuss the latest research in melanin. They have never invited a black scientist to that meeting in history.
Now, let's keep on going. So, in part 2, in book 2, it says here that melanin is abundantly present at the inception of life. Melanin, it says melanin or carbon. Carbon is abundantly present at the inception of life. That's spirit, that's soul. A melanin or carbon sheath covers both the sperm and the egg and the human embryo. The melanocytes, skin pigment cells, the brain, and the nerve cells all originate from the same place, the neural crest. Melanocytes resemble nerve cells and are essential for conveying energy. When the presence of melanin is missing or insufficient in the ectoderm, this causes the mother to lose her baby. In the case of all whites, a defective baby is born. And we just saw here in the Northwebster Dictionary and in the Melanin Research Book Part 1, they both admitted that, type in the word albino, it says albino, albus, white, a white descendant of black parents, or a white person belonging to a race of blacks. But it goes deeper than that. Let's keep on going. It says Dr. Frank Barr, pioneering discoverer of melanin's organizing ability and other properties, opens his technical work, Melanin, the organizing molecule. The hypothesis is advanced that neuromelanin, in conjunction with other pigment molecules, such as the isopentenoids, functions as the major organizational molecule in living systems. Melanin is depicted as an organizational trigger, capable of using established properties such as photon, electron, photon convergence, free radical redox mechanism, ion exchange mechanisms, etc., etc., right? And we're going to drop down. It says melanin can convert light energy to sound energy and back again. Melanin is black because its chemical structure allows no energy to escape. It is also black because black is the perfect absorber of light and all energy frequencies, making black melanin the super absorber of energy and light. Thus, scientists describe it as acting like a black hole. Melanin can rearrange its chemical structure to absorb all energy across the radiant energy spectrum: sunlight, X-rays, music rays, radio waves, gamma rays, everything. Melanin can absorb a great amount of energy and yet not produce a tremendous amount of heat when it absorbs this energy, because it can transform harmful energy into useful energy. You see that? It says that Dr. Frank Barr theory, matter is shaped and structured by light. That is, matter is organized through the interaction of molecules composed of slowed down light. These molecular melanin combinations eat light in order to maintain, expand, and evolve matter. The more highly evolved a species, the more complex its biological capacity to use light. Drop down here. Melanin, here's a website. Melanin is important because it is the most primitive and universal pigment in living organisms. Right? That's what gives you life. Okay, now check this out. On this website called TrueDreadheads.com, look at this. In 1920, an English biochemist details how to extract melanin or carbon from black people. This is what he says, quote, "It was found that if the skin were soaked in boiling water, the outer layer, which contained practically all the pigment, could be readily removed by scraping." This is William John Young, an English biochemist. He wrote a report in 1920, "The Extraction of Melanin from the Skin with a Dilute Alkali," where he details step by step how to extract melanin from black people. And here you can look this up. You can look this up. Okay? But I have something that goes beyond that. I have information that goes beyond the 1920s. They've been doing this. And this is what it says. Here's an excerpt from his report. It says, we read about that part already, and he's giving us schematics on what to do. Okay? This is facts. Your camps ain't talking about this. Your Hebrew Israelite camp's not talking about this. Your church is not talking about this. Your schools are not talking about this. And science, they're not talking about this. Your conscious community is not talking about this. Because they too busy putting on debates, taking your money. And you dumb niggas are falling for it. But guess what? Every 3 to 5 years, these people come together to discuss your black ass. They come together to discuss you. Alright? Now, we're going to put this to the side. So this is the Great Book of Melanin Research, Part 1 and Part 2. And it says here that these are all the pigment cell societies that come together every 3 to 5 years. The International Federation of Pigment Cell Society, they come together every 3 to 5 years to discuss you. You are not invited. So if you're not invited, what does that tell you? They're discussing you. Because you have everything inside of you. They don't have it. They don't have it. Now, here's another website I'm going to give you access to. Okay? In 1 second. Pull it up. Okay. Go here. We're going to go here. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to type in this. I'm going to try to remember to put all this stuff in my description box. So there's something called black goo. And one of my YouTube subscribers put me on to this information. So I'm giving him a special shout out. Alright, so here's a website called Black Goo, the stuff of dreams, right? So this black goo is melanin, right? I'm going to post this in my description box. It says there's an entity that appears in our favorite science fiction, fantasy, and horror stories, a living substance that elicits both disgust and excitement in the human imagination. It is related to the bad black barf and bad blood TV tropes, but while those examples are relatively inert and formless, black goo refers to a class of protein, intelligent beings who can be extraordinarily hard and strong when they want to be. So here's the black goo, right? And they put this so-called black goo, this carbon, this melanin in the movies. Showed it already. Like they have it in the film called Under the Skin. They have it in the film called Lucy, right? Here's Lucy, right? They have it in the film called The Arrival. This is intelligence. This is primordial substance. Right? They have it in the cartoons. Okay? They have it in Venom. When the symbiote took over him, that's melanin. That's carbon. Right? I'm going to post this in my description box. It's in oil. Right? It's a lot. It's in tar. Like they had something called tar babies. They were making fun of black people. This came out in 1945. Okay? Tar baby. The popularity of black goo imagery and what is currently known as the United States could relate to the cultural and literal history of tar. Right? Okay? It's in everything. This is carbon. It's in feces. Right? It's in feces. It's something that's called when the baby takes its first poop, you see black stuff. What is that? Melanin. That's carbon. Okay? I'm trying to see what's the name of this stuff. What they call it. Alright? I mean, it's in everything, man. It's in everything. And they wouldn't associate it as evil. No, this is the primordial. So this is the substance that keeps everything alive. It's in everything. Like right here. I'm gonna try to post this in my description box. So you have here black feces. In babies. See that black feces? That's melanin. Here's the word right here. Mechanium. Here's mechanium. Right? Mechanium is the earliest stool of infant. Unlike later feces, mechanium is composed of materials ingested during the time the infant spends in the uterus. It's an amniotic fluid. It is almost odorless. Are you seeing this? That's melanin. That's carbon. It's a fluid. You niggas ain't ready for this information, man. You are not ready for this. It says, when a woman is 40 weeks pregnant. Some post-stages pregnancy, when a woman is more than 40 weeks pregnant, may also have meconium stained liquor without fetal distress. That's carbon. That's soul. That's spirit. It's carbon. It's this. When the Hindus say the soul comes in after 40 weeks, what is that? It ain't light. Light, darkness comes before light. It's this black shit. It's carbon. Now how you gonna debunk this? I'm coming with straight facts, baby. Huh? From every angle. From every angle. You niggas ain't ready. You niggas ain't ready. Now, in my next video, I'm about to upload this. This is part 2. So we show here that in 1920, that this chemist was extracting melanin from black people. And he gives a step-by-step process how to do it. Now, we're going to go in part 3 of the video, because I'm out of time, to this book right here. It's called Mummies, Cannibals, and Vampires. You think when they put these movies out here, this is not history? It had to come from somewhere. Mummies, Cannibals, and Vampires. The history of corpse medicine from the Renaissance. Renaissance means rebirth. To the Victorians. The author's name is Richard Shug, or Shug. Here's a skeleton, human skeleton with moss covered on it, right? And you have here, he's gonna tell. This is a European coming out of his own damn mouth, telling you who the cannibals are. This is John Transkin, the Younger, by Thomas D. Critz, right? So, you niggas on here talking that bullshit, talking about some the greys and reptiles. No. You see, you messing with a nigga like me, I'll debunk all of that stuff. Ain't no goddamn reptiles and greys in this time period eating people. Eating people. Because they would have wrote about it. So you have here, let's read it. Mummies, Cannibals, and Vampires charts in vivid detail the largely forgotten history of European corpse medicine, which saw kings, ladies, gentlemen, priests, and scientists prescribe, swallow, or wear human blood, flesh, bone, fat, brains, and skin in an attempt to heal themselves of epilepsy, bruising, wounds, sores, plague, cancer, gout, and depression. In this comprehensive and accessible text, Richard Shug shows that, far from being a medieval therapy, corpse medicine was at its height during the social and scientific revolutions of early modern Britain, surviving well into the 18th century and amongst the poor, lingering on into the time of Queen Victoria. Raging from the execution scaffolds of Germany and Scandinavia through the courts and laboratories of Italy, France, and Britain, to the battlefields of Holland and Ireland, and on to the tribal man-eating of the Americas, Mummies, Cannibals, and Vampires argues that the real cannibals were in fact Europeans, white people. Catholics were eating people. Picking our way through the blood-stained shadows of this remarkable secret history, we encounter medicine cut from bodies living and dead, sacks of human fat harvested after a gun battle, gloves made of human skin, and the first mummy to appear on the London stage. Let's by the uncanny glow of a lamp filled with human blood. You see, are you hearing this? These are Europeans. This is their history. They are the cannibals. They are the vampires. Wait till I go into part 3. It's gonna piss you off. Oh, they brought me back just in time. YouTube brought me back just in time. I'm gonna debunk all of that stuff you niggas talking about, some reptiles and graves. I'm gonna debunk all of that stuff. Cause you niggas ain't reading enough. You don't bring out any sources. You just come on here and you cite and source Wikipedia, but I don't never see you niggas bring out any type of references books at all to back up your claims. You just preaching shit, no different than the church, than the preacher. You phony, false flagging niggas, you coon ass Negroes. Look, that's go even further. That the Native American Indians that the Indians didn't know anything about a Bible. When you go here to the Pilgrims, when you go here to the Geneva Bible, listen to this. Your Bible was written by white people. The Geneva Bible is one of the most historically significant translations of the Bible in English, preceding the King James Version. It was the primary Bible of the 16th century Protestantism. They were cannibals, and was used by William Shakespeare, Oliver Cromwell, and such and such and such. Listen to this. It was one of the Bibles taken to America on the Mayflower. It was one of the Bibles taken to America on the Mayflower. We're going to go here to Noah's Webster Dictionary. We're going to type in American. And what does it say? A native of America, originally applied to Aboriginals or copper-colored races, found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of the Europeans born in America. What did this just say? It says that the Geneva Bible was one of the Bibles taken to America on the Mayflower. The Aboriginals, they didn't know anything about a damn Bible. So who wrote your Bible? Europeans, Scandinavians, white people. I'm not being racist, I'm speaking historical facts. This is something you got to deal with. So when you talk shit like this, reptiles, oh, I'm going to debunk that. When you talk stuff like this, no. When you talk stuff like this, and you show pictures like this, these reptiles, this is garbage. This is a smoke screen. This is a smoke screen. This is a smoke screen they're covering. These Europeans are covering their tracks. Because when you go into this, they telling you clear as day who's doing the eating. Who's eating people. Who's harvesting them. And this man goes into it thoroughly. I'm going to bring it out. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.